Characters for the month of February 2024, and I gotta give a big shout out to everyone that came out last month and liked my video. It was one of my most liked videos for the entire month. And I want to say that not only is this list in not any particular order, but we're going to do 15 characters. I just couldn't figure out who to remove, and I just want to start off from the gate that Spider Weaver probably would have been removed from this list if I was making a proper top 10. Now, there's a couple reasons why I think Weaver should be on this list, at least in the context of like top 15, is not only does she have this super amazing charge mechanic, which causes the opposing characters to miss, which is just going to be absolutely awesome. But also, Weaver has stun plus trauma, and that's going to be an important theme with some of the other characters on this list. Black Cat and Dormammu also have stun plus trauma. That is a very, very amazing ability, and I absolutely love Weaver, and I'm getting use out of her absolutely in Cosmic Crucible, also in Alliance War, and I think she's going to be useful for a long time, and mostly she works well in conjunction with 2099 for speed up. Next on the list is Gambit. Now, when I talk about Gambit, I got to say that also Nightcrawler's on this list. I feel like Nightcrawler also. They're both amazing, and the reason for Gambit is just like the massive amount of damage. He got a rework, and now he works with Extreme X-Men, and he's the main damage dealer. He pings the target. His AoE ultimate is amazing, and the Extreme X-Men are just very dominant in 3 game modes right now. Not only Raids, but Alliance War and Cosmic Crucible. So Gambit and Nightcrawler are on the list. Next, Kestrel. Kestrel, I love Kestrel, and she did get a massive damage boost with the reworks of the Pegasus. Very important in Raids. And her pings, when you hit a defense down, it does massive amounts of damage. She has a way of messing with summons. She has a way of killing characters and they can't be revived. But for me, I just love the ping mechanic during ally turn, enemy with defense down. Attack the most injured enemy for 400% damage. Just going to always love that very much. Next on the list is Kang the Conqueror, and Kang probably was gonna fall off the top 10 list as well, but I think Kang will be an important character for a long time, just for this simple reason. On offense, fill speed bar for 5% for self and all allies. There's nothing more fun than wrecking everybody with his ultimate, especially after he himself gives himself offense up from doing the special on turn 1, and then on turn 2, it's usually lights out. We call it the Kang Bang. But I really do think that Kang will be useful for a long time just for this passive right here, even if he gets power crept and his damage doesn't keep up with the other characters. It's kind of hard to imagine damage on Kang not keeping up, because right now he's significant damage. Dormammu, also a character that I debated pulling off the list. He does seem just to die. I don't know what to say. But stun plus trauma is very impactful. Also, naturally, he has revives, but a lot of characters have anti-revive mechanics nowadays. But the thing I like about is when he does get charged, I think this is a pretty amazing ability on his passive. On enemy turn, if charged, flip all positive effects into negative effects and apply 2 bleed to the enemy. Synergizes amazingly well with Zombie Iron Man and the Undying team. Just revive seems good in general, but yeah, Dormammu's seen better days, but I'm very comfortable putting him on this list. Next, Apocalypse, still hands down second best character in the game. And I gotta tell you, it was Super Scroll, Apocalypse, and everybody else, but now that Black Knight is in the game, Apocalypse seems more important, because Black Knight for sure picks on Super Scroll. So many amazing things about Apocalypse. The one thing that I like doing, and someone brought this up, is that when you do this ultimate right here, and he has charge, and the primary target has vulnerable, you're basically stunning them, and it's another soft trauma plus stun ability, and then you're immediately going into the empowered basic, which just wrecks nerds, right? Very, very worth it. I know people are saying, "Oh, is Apocalypse worth it?" Yes, Apocalypse is easily the second best character in the game, without a doubt. Love this guy. Absolutely love this guy. Even more important nowadays because of Black Knight. Quicksilver, debating putting him on the list, but this guy continues to surprise me over and over with his versatility. Love the fact that Scarlet Witch can be summoned, and then she does her thing where she can redistribute health. Having the ability to reduce speed bar and clear charge is very impactful. While he himself has charge, he's taking multiple turns. The basic on him is devastating, especially if you have Striker equipped to Quicksilver and stripping away positive effects. I mean, you could delete characters. He can absolutely delete characters. Now, I do want to say something kind of interesting about Quicksilver is, remember when he came out, we didn't have high stars on him. He was a little bit unimpressive. I'm wondering if that also means that as the game moves on and we get power creep, he's going to be less impressive more quickly than some of the other characters that are more kit-based. He very much feels like a damage-based character. Absolutely love this guy quite a bit, but again, I think he could possibly drop off the list sooner than some of the other characters. Green Goblin. Green Goblin, of course, is the legendary on the Superior and Sinister Six teams, and so they're very useful in multiple game modes. Pretty much everything against raids. Also, I just want to point out he does have some a pretty important synergy with Void Knight. Let's say in Arena. With Void Knight, you clump everybody together, and the cool thing about Green Goblin is that when he has charged, he's basically spamming them back at the end of enemy turn. If this character has charged, attack the enemy and adjacent targets for 200% damage. Now, if they're all clumped together, it's hitting sometimes more than just 3 targets. Sometimes you can hit the whole team. Apply defense down and flip speed up. Flip 2 additional positive effects and negative effects for those targets. Lose 1 charge. I just love this guy. Absolutely. And this can be a very devastating ability right here as well. And then, of course, he can hit a bunch of targets. Absolutely love Green Goblin. Next is Black Cat. And just because the video would be too long and I couldn't put everybody on this list, I just want to say that probably could have put Robbie Reyes and Ms. Marvel Hard Light. But this is a trio, the Secret Defender trio, that is devastatingly good in 3 very important game modes. We're talking about Arena, Cosmic Crucible, and War. And again, this amazing trauma plus stun, having all the death proofs on spawn, and pretty much the trio is quite good inside of Arena. They get a lot of bonuses for Arena, but Void Knight has changed that a little bit, but Black Cat is still a top 10 character easily. And also, Robbie Reyes could be on this list absolutely as well, but I just didn't have enough space to just cram everybody on here. Super Scroll, best character in the game. And I know that Black Knight has been disruptive, and Black Knight definitely can chew through a Super Skull. And so all that means is that if Black Knight's on defense, you don't run your Super Skull into him. And this has changed the Arena. Lately, I haven't even been running Super Skull on offense in Arena if my opponent is running Black Knight. But all that being said, I still think that Super Skull is the best character in the game. Absolutely devastating character. And most specifically has to do with the passive and the way that he gets speed bar right here. So it seems like he's just taking turns all the time. Super Scroll is still absolutely worth it. Just don't run your Super Scroll on offense into an opposing Black Knight. And I think this also means that a lot of people are going to be pulling Super Scroll off of defense and using him on offense. He's just absolutely dominant on offense. Love this guy. Absolutely worth it. Still the best character in the game. And as far as Black Knight being a counter Super Scroll, this is a thing. I mean, if we go all the way back to Ultron, Black Bolt was the soft counter to Ultron. This is what they do. And I think if you look at every character out there, whether it's Doom, and Icarus is a soft counter to Doom, and Dormammu has multiple soft counters, whether that's Black Knight, you know, to remove, get rid of the revives. It's just the way this game works. You know, a very strong character comes to the game, and then they sell us a solution to the problem that they've created with a very powerful character. Love this guy. Holy moly, love this guy. His passive right here allows him to get a lot of speed bar on his very first turn, making him have an effective speed, if I remember correctly, of 141. His first turn, he gets 5,000% focus, clumps everything together, and applies ability block. This is insanely useful right now, specifically against Black Knight. The arena meta, a lot of metas have turned to Black Knight, one of the more defining characters in the game. I've mentioned Black Knight several times in this video. Void Knight seems to have some very useful answers to the Black Knight problem. I use this guy everywhere, and because he's fast and he has this extra focus and he can clump everybody together, flip all the stuff, and apply ability block, I think he's going to be useful for a long time as a plug and play character. While a lot of his friends in the Hive Mind team might disappear, I think that Void Knight is going to have a very good shelf life. Black Knight, last character on the list. I don't know what to say about this guy. Let's just say it simply. Pre-taunting tanks, not only in Marvel Strike Force but in Galaxy of Hero, traditionally very important, have very long-term shelf lives and get use. If we're talking about pre-taunting tanks in Marvel Strike Force, I mean, there's still case uses for Drax and Red Guardian and Absorbing Man and Zombie Juggernaut, but Black Knight actually does stuff. Holy moly, he does so much stuff. Specifically, he's single-handling wrecking Super Skrull, but his charge mechanic and him counter-attacking when he has charge, clearing barrier, clearing immunity, apply heal block, bleeds, putting trauma, unavoidable, extra focus, all kinds of fun stuff. This guy is going to be very important for a long time. He has been one of the more meta-defining characters that we've had in a minute. I'd say Void Knight and Black Knight are super important. And then also, he's a dark promotion credit character, and not only is he required, well, the entire Out of Time team is required for the next legendary character, but it's not likely that he's going to be, you know, completely farmable in the midterm, which, I mean, like, most characters are farmable by the 6-month mark, and most players have characters at 7 yellows by the 6-month mark. Dark promotion credit characters are exceptions to the rule. I'm a big fan of this guy. He's very important, and especially Super Skrull. Who did I miss? There's a lot of characters I could have put on the list, and I'm sorry that I couldn't narrow it down to exactly 10, but that is the list for the month. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I'm sure there's somebody I forgot. And as always, thanks for watching and keep on gaming. Bye for now.